Howdy, folks. How are you? How's the sound? How's lighting? Zelda says they can't wait to see this list. That's fantastic. Glad you're excited. Lover of Cinema says, howdy Jam, just thought I would let you know in 2 days I'll be travelling to the UK, specifically London, and we'll be staying there for about a week. I've never been to London before and I'm excited for the whole trip. Any recommendations for things to do while there? I think it's a matter of what you want to personally do, because the great thing about London is that out of every British city, it's got the most things to do. It's got the most touristy things, got the most attractions, most art installations and experiments. Like, whatever you want to do, London probably has it. So think about what you want to do personally, and make sure that all the places you select are close to each other, because London is huge and like the London Underground is a complete nightmare. So I'd say really select around that. But in terms of places to go, definitely Cartoon Museum. There is a couple of cinema museums as well you can definitely check out, because I saw you're a lover of cinema. So check out those as well. There's a lot of weird places as well that you can go to, like there's this whole strange art installation called God's Own Junkyard, and there's like a novelty automation. There's the House of Dreams Museum as well. There's a monster supply shop. Yeah. There's a bookstore on the barge. If you go to the Crystal Palace, you can see some dinosaurs. You can also go to a urinal restaurant. Yes. So like it has everything and anything, whatever you can probably think of. Really, I think it's all definitely down to what you're after from London, because you can go for like the mainstreamy kind of places like Madame Tussauds and Big Ben and all that kind of jazz. But like if you want to like push yourself and go for take a little risk and try something a little weird and different, go for it. Right, chat box is it's all right size, but I feel like it could be smaller, so let's make it smaller. Bear with me, folks. Light's a bit bright. Okay, bear with me. Okay, font size. Make it a little smaller. Anyway, let's back to chat. Goblin, hey look, it's Adam Warlock if he wasn't covered in gold. I was waiting for someone to start making Adam Warlock jokes. I was waiting for it. I am considering cosplaying him. Once I've seen the film, I might work out how I could actually cosplay him. But then people might just go, well, that's just a still from the movie. Goblin, let's hope the stream works this time. Fingers crossed. Kirst, hey Jam, just finished the 4 nights of my show. Well done. Hope it went well. Leo, hi Jam, just finished my tea. My great aunt from Granada came to visit a couple of days ago. She gave me a very big girthy banana and a yam. So I whipped up some rice and peas and homemade gravy and a medium rare ostrich steak. Fucking beautiful. Nice. Where am I in chat now? Hello, Soda. Joshua, how's James today? I'm doing good. I've got a job interview at somewhere that I wouldn't mind working at, actually. I'm kind of like, ooh, that actually sounds good. I'd be down for working there. So I am going to spend a lot of tonight just prepping and making sure that I look nice and that I'm ready for it and I know what I want to say. So that's definitely got me in a good mood. The Dreamworks marathon is almost done as well. Only 6 films left. So yeah, overall good mood. Soda, and then chat plays up once Jam shrinks chat. Huh. It looks fine to me. Joshua, I went to the animal shelter today, then I went on a long walk up the hills to a cafe. That sounds so lovely! That sounds like a great day. Curse, yeah, it went well, but getting to the theatre each day was a nightmare due to the Eurovision happening at the same time. Oh, that sounds really frustrating. Because like I can relate to that because I live in a city with 2 football stadiums, and like nearly every week or so it's like everything just gets halted so that like everyone can like get to the stadium. Yeah. Soda, finally worthy opponent. Our battle will be legendary. Nice quote. Zelda, I was going to watch a Studio Ghibli movie, but I'll watch them after. Go for it. Which ones are you going to watch? That's what I want to know, as a massive Ghibli fan myself. Soda, I can't be the only one who wasn't interested in Eurovision, right? I'm only interested in the gimmicky, silly bands. That's it. I like... there was this... Germany had a really cool, contribution that I really, really liked. It was like this... It was like a glam metal kind of thing they were going for. It was sick. It was absolutely sick. It was almost like Rammstein meets David Bowie. I loved it. It was so good. But for them, I never have any hope for the UK entry. No hope at all. I saw people like ragging on UK entry already, and I was just like, no, that doesn't surprise me. We contribute the shittest songs every year. It's like we don't even try. Apparently got run up last year, and it's like, how? Kubadood, I have an audition coming up for the community production of Kinky Boots. Good luck. Double, you look like the son of Captain Birdseye. I'll take that as a compliment. Leo, to this day, I still don't know what the purpose of Eurovision is. Mainly political, but also, I'd say, helps certain European music acts get out there a bit more. That's it, really. That's it. But it's mainly the political kind of thing. For me, I just like the silliness. I like the campiness. I like the Graham Nortonness. Zelda, it's my neighbor Totoro since I've been in college all day. I fancy something relaxing. If you're okay, I would say then, if you're after a relaxing and you're in the mood for Totoro, after Totoro, watch My Neighbor Yamada's. That's probably their most relaxing film of all, where nothing friggin' happens, but it's really adorable and has a lot of relatable family situations. I saw the Dutch song. Because to be fair, I was looking back at the performances. It's either a messy drag show or X Factor if they've fired all the editors and just left weird moments in. I guess it is, but I've not watched all of the Eurovision acts for this year. I've not watched all of them. I looked at the thumbnails and think, okay, are they in silly glittery costumes or not? Or is it just a boring guy with a guitar? Not interested. Move on. Community guy, if it's like us, that's probably it. We don't want to win Eurovision because the winner will have to organise the next one. It's apparently crazy expensive. Kubidu, the only Eurovision song that ever stood to me was Hard Rock Hallelujah. That was pretty damn good. I'm not gonna lie, it was really, really good. But the last Eurovision, Iceland's contribution was brilliant. I loved Iceland's contribution. It was this weird ass song that they did. It was the whole band was just in like knitwear and like had their faces on the knitwear, and like it was this synth pop kind of song, and it was really catchy, really good. I really like that song. Sometimes there's a decent Eurovision entry, and sometimes there's even like, yeah, it's sometimes it can be decent, sometimes it can be just weird. I just like weird or good. None of the boring bad ones. Zelda, Studio Ghibli did the animation on a game called Ni no Kuni, I believe. Yes, they did. Leo, okay, the explanation about the winning country has to do certainly explains everything. Yeah, pretty much. It is very political. It's a very political kind of thing. Yeah. Anyway, so went off into a cosmos right then. Okay, so today I'm going to be counting down my picks for the top 5 best Dreamworks fight scenes. I will admit this was really hard. I thought I was gonna like go into my pad of paper and be like, right, here we go. Oh, thank you for following Eddie Kingston. I thought I was going to go into my pad and be like, okay, right, I know exactly which ones it's going to be. But then I was like, my list got longer and longer, and I was like, dang, I have to turn this down to 5? 5? How? There's so many amazing fight scenes from Dreamworks. I never realised there's a lot of fight scenes that were like could be contenders. Double. Apart from Remy, who is your favourite character in Ratatouille? Gusto. Love Gusto. Jolly fella. Sodo, sorry, I threw stream off a little bit. No worries, don't worry about it. Are you talking about Eurovision? Because I like talking about Eurovision. Joshua, we're going to see Puss in Boots' Last Wish in this list. I can guarantee. You'll have to wait and see. You'll have to wait and see. You'll have to wait and see what I pick. It was a little tricky. It wasn't just tricky kind of narrowing the down. It was also tricky kind of deciding, okay, but what order? What order do I put them in? I'm not even 100% certain if I'm pleased with my order at this stage, but it's too late now. Yeah. But yes, we'll be going through all 5, and then I'll let you all share your number 1 favourite with me and why. Don't share them now. Don't share them now, because then you'll just confuse everyone. They'll think, oh wait, is that on Jam's list? No. So yeah, save your favourite for after I've done my countdown. Goblin, favourite song from this year's Eurovision. Like I said before, I only watched like 2 or 3. I've not watched all of them, so I can't really say which is my favourite from this year. Zelda, I have 2 favourite fight scenes from Dreamworks. Save them from after my countdown. Once I've done my countdown, you can spam me with your favourites and why. Double, I've got a beard like yours, and I've forgotten what my chin feels like. No, I'm the same. But to be fair, I don't have a very pronounced chin. So that's one major reason I've kept this beard. Like, my chin is so unpronounced that, like, I just have to, like, move slightly, and you can't see the chin anymore. It just disappears. So my favourite battle is confusing the chat. Ooh, don't you do that. The other announcement I can make, and I've made this quite recently on my social media, is that I'm going to be hosting 2 panels at a brand new British convention called AnimeCon UK. And this is considered to be the biggest convention that's ever been put together. It's absolutely huge. I'll be hosting their anime quiz, and I'll be doing an anime tropes tier list. I'll be doing a tier list live for the first ever time. So yeah, feel free to come to that. It's going to be in Birmingham. So if you're near Birmingham, consider going to AnimeCon UK. Let me try to grab the link, and I'll throw it in chat, because I don't want people to get mixed up with other. There's another AnimeCon coming to Birmingham, which you shouldn't go to for reasons. So yeah, I'll put it in chat. Feel free to get your tickets. I'm also going to be at Doki Doki in Manchester this September, so feel free to come to that as well. Jackie Sugar Skull, I have a soft spot for the final battle from the Captain Underpants movie. Yeah, like I said, save your favourites for after we've done the countdown. Good guy. Oh, by the way, you're right. All those songs are still stuck in my head. I also tried watching the show itself and really didn't like it compared to the movie. It felt like a diet version of SpongeBob. At least episode 1 did. I still want to check it out. I want to give it a chance. Like, I want more Arlo. I definitely want more Arlo. Well, here's the interesting thing is that my stepbrother has my stepbrother's baby has been born today, and they've named him Arlo. So I sent a picture of Arlo the alligator boy to my mum. It's like, Soda, oh god, he's going to do the Crush tier list live. No, it's not a Crush. It's going to be an anime tropes tier list. I don't think I'll do a Cartoon Crushes tier list live at a convention. I think people will be just confused, because that's our little thing. Cooper, congrats on becoming an uncle. I've actually been an uncle since I was 7 years old. My older sister has had 3 kids. Yeah, so when I was 7, I became an uncle. Cursed, I just realised watching Centaur World does have Arlo vibes. Ooh, I'll definitely check out Centaur World. I've heard some people tell me that I need to see it. Leo, I didn't even know you had a stepbrother. Yes, I have. And both my brothers are called Joe. They're both called Joe. And it's a nightmare when my mum and my stepdad are like, can you tell Joe this? I should get into a habit of saying which Joe. Listy, my best friend has a boy called Arlo. It's a popular name in the last few years. Oh, right. Leo, I like you'd have a crush tier list without me around for support / comparison. Well, here's the thing, Leo. I think you need to join one of the tier list streams, and I think everyone else will want you to join one of the tier list, one of the Cartoon Crush tier list streams. You need to join one, at least one of them. And I definitely want to have a mods Cartoon Crush tier list. I definitely want to do that eventually. It's Double. Which city are you in? Me, I live in Sheffield, Steel City. A lot of people ask me about London, and I'm like, I only go there now and again. It's very far from me. It's very far. It takes about 4 hours by coach, and 8 hours by train, I think. I can't remember. It's weird. Double, I thought you were from down south. That's probably because my accent's so weird. Because I was born in Crawley, in Sussex, home of The Cure and Jack D. But then, when I was 1 year old, my family moved all the way up north to a village called Wales. A village called, not the actual Wales country, moved to the village called Wales. And then we moved to Sheffield afterwards. And I've lived in Sheffield since. So I've been raised by southern parents in the north. So I have a very strange accent. And I confuse people about which end I'm on. Okay, speaking of which, I realised that Wallace and Gromit is actually set in Wigan, Lancashire. I'm not too sure about whereabouts it's set, because, like, there's so many sources saying so many different things. Big guy, your town hall is very cool. It is pretty damn cool, if I'm honest, and, like, it's got some fountains in front as well. And during the summer, people put shampoo in it, and, like, bubbles come out of it. Oh, and also ducks fly into it quite a lot. Joshua, I hate to bring the bad news, but does anyone hear the news that Disney Plus is taking down content? I know that they no longer have the rights to cricket. That's all I know. Imagey says, love Sheffield, love Meadowhall. Who loves Meadowhall? In Sheffield, we nicknamed that shopping centre Meadow Hell. It's a fun place to go to with your mates, I think. But, like, if you want to go on, like, a serious shopping spree, you gotta hold on to your sanity while you're there. Double, is Sheffield where Chicken Run is set? I know it's set in my county of Yorkshire. Chicken Run is set in Yorkshire, but I don't know which exact place in Yorkshire it's set. Q, how are you? I'm good, thank you. And we're just about to do the countdown. The reason why everyone is here. I'm going to do my best because I've not put down any notes. I often need notes when I'm doing, like, this kind of thing. Because if not, I go into panic mode. But I'm trying to train myself to do countdowns, to do live kind of discussions without any kind of script. I'm trying my best. So if I do flub, if I do struggle to explain myself, then I'm very sorry. Oh, I read that, sorry. Double, is Birmingham far from you? It's only an hour from me, actually. Birmingham's just an hour from me. It's not too far, if I'm honest. It's hard to, well, the places I'm near to are Leeds, Manchester, Birmingham, Derby. I can't remember half of the places I'm near now. I think we're near Bradford, but I'm not too sure. Curse, the only reason I think it's set in that area because I'm listening to the accents in the Curse the Were-Rabbit, and they sound very Bolton. Yes. Well, the thing is that, which is ironic since Peter Kay does. Yeah, Peter Kay's on it. Yeah. Have you seen the In-Betweeners? I have, and I don't get it. I'm sorry, I just don't get it. I never got into it because I was just like, what's the joke? It's a bunch of 30-year-olds playing primary school kids that are acting like high school kids. I don't get it. It just went over my head when I saw it, if I'm honest. I wasn't really into it. It wasn't my thing. Zelda, it's very far from me. It takes hours by bus and 3 hours on train. Wow. Well, I might be doing some cons in the south, depending on how things go. I don't want to announce anything just yet, but, like, I might be doing some south area cons as well. I would do America, but, like, it's expensive for me to travel to America, unfortunately. Yeah, I'd love to, once my income improves, I'd love to start doing panels in America, Australia, New Zealand, Canada, all sorts of places like that. And the great thing about going to those other countries is that I have family in each of them, so I'll just stay with them. I don't have to like buy a hotel or anything. I just stay with them to save money. So I'm happy to go to like other countries eventually. It's just my income needs to be improved. So if you want to come to a con, support me on Patreon. That's the best thing I can suggest. I personally like it, but the thing I don't like about it is somehow it had a feature-length movies in the cinema. I'm not sure what you're... Oh, you're talking about In-Betweeners. So you personally like In-Betweeners, but the thing I don't like is how somehow I had a feature-length movie in the movie cinema. I don't follow, sorry. Anyway, it's time for the countdown. The reason you're here. It's time to count down my choices for the top 5 Dreamworks fight scenes. Hang on. Okay, so we'll begin with number 5. What is number 5? My number 5 is Megamind vs. Titan. This is a film I've really grown to love more and more the more times I've watched it. And one of the things I love about this fight scene is that it's a battle between strength and illusion, because Megamind knows that he doesn't have a chance against Titan. Like, he's very outmatched, so he has to rely on his drones, on holograms, on presentation, and it's really interesting seeing that conflict between someone really bad-tempered and just relying entirely on his super strength against someone that's more technology advanced. So I like that kind of like back and forth between them, and like there is some interesting tension throughout the whole scene because Megamind is having to rely on that technology and outwit Titan at the same time, and having to use Titan's own arrogance against him. Leo says, "Oh yeah, I'll admit I don't remember much about the scene itself, just the quotes. It's very quotable." And like the scene even got memed. It got heavily memed into a goat meme. With one little specific bit. But yeah, and like it is interesting. Sorry, I keep saying interesting a lot. It is fun how Titan does get to also outwit Megamind in a way, and it's kind of like, hey, hang on. Why is this Metro Man hologram? Why is he saying Metrocity? So he lets him have a one-up as well at the same time. Yeah, it's a brilliant fight to me, and I love that throughout the whole thing there is a constant tension going off, and especially when Megamind has because the thing is with this scene is that Megamind isn't really trying to beat him through brawn. He has to get Titan back to normal. That's where the tension comes from. That's where the conflict comes from. And it gets even more intense when he finally gets the gun that can turn Titan back to normal. And it's warming up! Where am I in chat now? Zelda, funny thing about bad guys is that they always lose. Yes! What's everyone's talking to each other now. Everyone's chatting to each other about the whole like Easter Bunny, the Queen kind of thing. Yes, that is a classic moment. That has aged weirdly. Let's just say, has aged a little strangely. But yeah, what do people think of this scene? I mean, I'll tell you what. I'll show you an actual clip to remind you how awesome this scene is.
But there's only one person I know who calls this town Metrocity.
Oops.
You. Bet you think it's really funny, huh? Let's all laugh at the really cool guy, huh?
Yeah, again, all the excitement comes from how insanely outmatched Megamind is in this moment, and you're just like, how's he gonna win this? how is he gonna get through this? You haven't seen Megamind, but this clip makes me want to. Yes, everyone needs to see Megamind. It's brilliant. It's this wonderful satire on superheroism, on good and evil, things like that. But yeah, any other thoughts on this fight scene before we move on to my number 4? Zelda, Treasure the Titan really tried to be good, but ended up being the bad guy. Kinda. Leo says Megamind versus Super Incel. That's what it basically is, yeah. It basically is, that is the fight. I will go into more detail about Titan in my Dreamworks villains ranking video. I definitely have a lot to say, so I don't want to go into too much about Titan, if I'm honest. Listen, even before the actual fight, Megamind's entrance is awesome. It's a brilliant entrance. It's such a great entrance, and it's quotable as well. Such a great quotable moment. There's a spectacle to it. He knows how to do that spectacle. Cooper, after watching that clip, it's amusing how that "what if Superman were evil" trope has exploded recently. Didn't know that it had exploded. Anyway, so that was my number 5. What is my number 4? Well, I know people probably want this to be higher. And maybe I should have put it higher, but I'm not sure. But my number 4 is Po versus Shen from Kung Fu Panda 2. What I love about this battle is that it's very spiritually driven. It's not a power of the fists. It is power of the mind more than anything, because the strength mainly comes from Po finding his inner peace and overcoming his childhood trauma. That's where it mainly comes from. But like, it's just so awesome seeing him coming to that epiphany, showing that he has found that place in himself. But he hasn't forgotten who he is. Like, he's still Goofy Po throughout the entire fight. But I also love that every time a cannonball like fires towards him, the animators come up with a completely different way of him to handle it. Sometimes he might be like, ow, ow, hot, hot, hot. Or sometimes he might just grab it and like clumsily throw it. Sometimes he might deflect it back to them. And ultimately he ends up just deflecting it straight at all of Shen's army really effectively. Listy, so no, I agree with a low rating. It's a good fight emotionally, but action wise it's not a super amount happens. Yes, I think that's why it ended up in 4. It's a brilliant like mind battle. But when you put it next to like all of Dreamworks, a lot of the Dreamworks actual physical battles, it ends up in 4. We got a battle of the minds, one at peace, one constantly unbalanced and angry. Yin and Yang, Kung Fu Panda is a brilliant movie. Yes. Lightful Girl, wonderful scene. I honestly thought it would be higher though. I did too, if I'm honest. I had a bit of a hard time deciding what order to put these moments into, if I'm honest. I feel like if I had more time, I probably would have like ordered it a bit differently. Love the Cinema, such a great climax. Kung Fu Panda 2 is one of my absolute favourite Dreamworks movies and the best of the KVP franchise. It's also one of my favourite movie sequels in general. Computer Guy. I also like the trope where the bad guy is the one destroying himself / herself. Yes. I also I just love seeing Shen going from that pompous look of like, fire the cannon, and then, oh, audacity, Panda outwitting me. Oh, I love that. Zelda. In fact, the pour on fire scene is slow that you'll say, "Oh, Po." I do like in that moment that he doesn't realize his own hand is on fire, but I also really love that he doesn't. He's surrounded by water, but he doesn't go like, shh. He goes, "Oh." That's so Po. Joshua, I guess Shen just accepted that he can't defeat Po. Soda, Jam, you're basically doing the Goku versus Vegeta battle. Goblin, the music is amazing as well. Oh, it's beautiful music. It's perfect music. I really like that it reflects the harmony that Po is going through, but also the sense of triumph at the same time. Jack Sugar Skull, the classic villainous breakdown. Yes, I love villain meltdowns so much. When I'm writing my own scripts, I really love to write. When I get to the finale, I love to write where the villain has just basically got insane. I love those. I love those moments. It's great. I just love to see them lose their shit and like lose that confidence. And I feel like this is a great example is the Poe versus Shen final battle. Absolutely. So yeah, does anyone have anything else they want to say about the Poe versus Shen final battle? Any thoughts that you have? Because I know this is a very iconic scene. And tell you what, I actually have a clip.
Fire!
Inner peace, inner peace, inner peace.
So Soda says the villainous breakdowns are usually the best and shows how scary they can be. Yes, I like showing them. I like when they show like a mix of being demented but also terrified. That's so fun to me. Love that. Love that. It's so fun. Lover Cinema says, just had goosebumps rewatching that clip. Excellent. That's how good that scene is. That's how classic that scene is. But yeah, any other thoughts before we move on? I want to give you all a chance. Don't feel obligated to say something, but like this is your opportunity before I move on. Soda, oh god, Poe's lunch now goes up to Ultra Instinct. Oh, Poe's lunch? Do you mean Poe's launch? He does kind of go slightly Ultra Instinct, but he goes more Ultra Instinct in Kung Fu Panda 3. Joshua says, I got nothing. Don't worry about it. Again, like, no pressure, no pressure. This is just anyone that wants to pipe up. This is your chance before I move on to the next entry. Because we're only at number 4 at the moment. I'm a bit bright. I look like a bloody ghost right now. Turn down a bit more. No, still a bit of a ghost. That's too dark. This is the problem with being this white. Tell you what then. Again, I really want to give people a chance to speak up. And right, so Leo says, I'll say it's not my favourite Shem fight scene, but I don't want to jump the gun. Jam's a ghost. Right, okay, let's move on to the next battle. Next fight, number 3. What is my number 3? My number 3 is the Dragon War, also known as the Battle of the Alphas. Hey, Gil, we're not here to talk about my old videos, mate. We're here to talk about fight scenes from Dreamworks films. But yes, so the Dragon War. What I love about this entire scene is just the scale and the scope of it all. But also how the fights on the land also mirror the fights between the Alpha Dragons. And like that's that amazing shot we can see both Stoic and Drago fighting each other on the ground, and then you can just see these two massive kaiju-sized Alpha Dragons just whacking their horns together like from a sky distance. It's so cool. But it's just also amazing to know that like how much work and effort went into like showing how busy this war looked, like how chaotic this war looked. It's almost like it takes the Ants versus Termites scene from Ants and like updates it, makes it even bigger, makes it even more interesting, because like there's just so much going off on screen, and everyone's throwing things from different sides. So it says, this is How to Train Your Dragon 2, isn't it? Yes, this is from how sorry, I should have said that. This is from How to Train Your Dragon 2. Leo says, I do love the scale. Big dragons. They're massive dragons. Computer Guy, and the consequences too. I didn't expect the second Dragon film to go this dark, but I should have known what happened at the end of the first film. Yes, it does go very dark towards the end of this entire scene, really, when Toothless is hypnotized. Sorry. Excuse me. I think that's the first time I've actually sneezed on stream. So yeah, when Toothless is hypnotized and set after Hiccup, but Stoic stands in the way. But I've talked about that scene at length in my darkest Dreamworks scenes stream. Thank you, everyone. Trying to avoid spoilers. I should have said spoiler warning, but then again, hopefully most people in chat have already seen How to Train Your Dragon 2. Hopefully. So I can't remember much about the film myself because it's been a long time since I've seen the film. Definitely rewatch it. Yeah, that scene with the toothless hypnotized traumatized me as a kid. Don't blame you. It's very, very, very dark. Very intense. That's the thing I described the entire Dragon War in general. It's so intense. And like it's mainly traumatizing because of like how out of nowhere it is, and particularly where it starts to happen, when this family's finally reunited and you're so happy for them, and then it's just like, poof, war. Deal with it. This entire family is just like not only forced into this war, but then split apart. There is a tragedy. Wait, I just think I missed some other things as well. Kubadood, all this set up to the saddest scene in the franchise. Yep. Zelda, the animation from How to Train Your Dragon 2 is so good. It really damn is, yeah. I usually take for granted that characters comes from previous films are immune to death in the sequel, so when it happens, I'm always taken by surprise. Yes, I get what you mean, yeah. Leo, it's easy to see how it confirmed that House of the Dragon took inspiration from how well this movie conveyed the terrifying size and scale of the dragons both in the ground and the air, especially with a certain death scene in the season finale. I wouldn't be surprised how much this scene inspired filmmakers. Because it's almost like Dreamworks' own like Lord of the Rings battle. it's their Lord of the Rings in a way. And you do when you're watching it, you do feel like your breath is being taken away. Because for a lot of these films, it's very much a tight kind of like a bond between all these little cute dragons. And then when you just see how big things can get, it's like, what? What? Okay, so I think I've said everything I want to say for that one. I feel we've got a few people chipping in for this one, so I feel okay moving on to the next one. Okay, so next fight. My number 2. What is my number 2? My number 2 is Po versus Tai Lung. It's same kind of reasons for liking the Shen battle, but like I just feel like it's more action orientated and takes more advantage of the physicality of both characters. And like I just love the clash between Tai Lung's like aggressive bad temper and like lack of patience and like just no zen basically, compared to Po, who's just like silly, goofy, just goes with the flow kind of character. Just seeing their fights going up against each other and just seeing Tai Lung getting more and more frustrated at how silly Po can be. But I also really love this scene. Because it showcases what Po has learned. And it makes you feel like, okay, that training montage, it was more than just like, oh, Po's becoming a better fighter. It was setting him up to be more creatively instinctive when he goes up against Tai Lung. Because in the training montage, you've got like Shifu and Po kind of like doing their little like chopstick battle and like fighting over the dumpling and that kind of thing. And that works really well into like Tai Lung and Po fighting over the Dragon Scroll. And like, yeah, I appreciate that they made sure that everyone evacuated before everything happened, because then you don't feel as bad when they're just going absolutely all out and just smashing things and throwing stuff everywhere and throwing in references from earlier on. So Kabuga says, I prefer the second and third movie final battle, to be honest. No worries, you can explain why after the count now. Zelda has to be sat on. That's why I love it when they're bouncing down the palace stairs. I do like that bit as well. How it slows down Po's arse just going poof. And here's this villain who wants to be seen as sophisticated, just going. I love her. Cinema says, I love the contrast between the two different fight scenes. The Shifu versus Tai Lung battle is more dramatic and serious, while the Po versus Tai Lung battle is more fun and light-hearted, but still has the great message about the secret ingredient thing. Listy says, Poe vs. Shen and Poe vs. Talon feel like the difference between a Bruce Lee fight and a Jackie Chan fight. Yes, absolutely. Both are great. Bruce is so OP it's over in a minute. Jackie runs around the entire setting for his fights. Yeah, absolutely. You can definitely tell that Jackie's work has a massive influence on the Kung Fu Panda trilogy. You really kind of like, if you go back and watch I'm not talking about like Rush Hour and Shanghai Nights. I'm talking about the films Jackie Chan himself directed, like his specific style. Like, I feel like that really influenced a lot of Kung Fu Panda movies. And it's no surprise they ended up casting him as well. Lover, every time I rewatch this final battle, I laugh my ass off. It is a great balance of like that being very funny, but also being very tense, and ending up with a great reminder of how Poe has come to understand the Dragon Scroll, contrasted against how Tai Lung is completely clueless. Here we go. Oh yes, that's something I loved in this fight scene. Though, spoiler, there's nothing, says the tiger towards his own reflection. Bruh, if you don't believe in yourself, how do you expect to get it anyway? Yes, yes. Listy, police story and stuff, his work back in China where he had control. Didn't he help choreograph the animation? I'm not too sure. I don't know. I won't be surprised. I would not be surprised if that's the case. Soda, Poe, again, is Goku. Tai Lung is basically Frieza in final form. Kinda, sorta, in a way. Yeah. Zelda, I love that he used multiple bowls hiding the scroll, mixing them up just like Shifu in the train. Yeah, like I said that before. I was saying before how the train montage really cleverly like foreshadows the fight with Tai Lung and Poe. It really does a fantastic job of that. So does anyone have anything else they want to say about the Poe versus Tai Lung battle before I reveal my number one pick? Which one? Which one? And why did I say which one? What am I on about? I feel like I'm still in my quizzes. I'm so used to saying that in my quizzes. Listy, and his weight is an advantage, not a hindrance to his style. Yes, absolutely. Helps him to deflect a lot of Tai Lung's like aggressiveness. Soda says, sorry, I'm just a bit tired, so my brain is sort of going all over the place. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I'm not going to talk about what number one is just yet. Cutie guy, just one thing. Back when there was only one film, the whooshy finger hold never made sense to me. Leia, honestly, I never liked this scene. It always felt like a massive tonal whiplash, going from this raw, intense, screaming fight to the death between Shifu and his adopted son, the character drama, but then we get thrown into this next scene, which always felt too silly and undignified to me. Something I was grateful for in the sequels, then it actually took the emotion of the moment more seriously. Right, I will take that into account, definitely. I get what you mean. 100% get what you mean. Again, the problem with doing a lot of my countdowns is that they have to be balanced with my YouTube work. So, and like I have like maybe like 2 hours or so to prep for it, and like I will say that a lot of my countdowns are very raw when it comes to like live stream work, because like I've had to come up with them on the spot. I've had to kind of work them out on the spot. It does end up getting a little rushed, if I'm honest. I'd love to find a solution around that, but like unfortunately, I think it's going to be easier to like multitask my Twitch work with my YouTube work once I get an editor, because then it's going to be easier for me to kind of like plan and research and like have more sincere countdowns. Because I feel like if I did this countdown in a way where I had a load of time to prep and plan, I feel like a lot of these choices would be very different. I honestly do think that. We're getting honorable mentions. No, I don't do honorable mentions. I've never done honorable mentions. Listy, for me, that's sort of the point. Poe brings lightness and joy back to Kung Fu. He's fighting for fun, not just to defeat Tai Lung. I get that as well. Yeah, I think that's maybe why I like it as well. Okay. So, what do you think is my number one? What do you think is my number one pick? Wait, what? It's probably really obvious. It's probably very obvious. Lover of Cinema says Puss vs. Death. Lateful God says Puss vs. Death. Liz says Puss vs. Lobo. What do you think it could be? Zol says, I don't blame him guessing. Soda, Jack Horner versus fighting Shrek. Leo, even as a kid, I wasn't always keen on going straight from seeing that moment of silence as Tai Lung, feeling the sting of finally receiving an apology for too late and not being able to heal and his pain pushing him too far, then going straight to bum on face. I get you. I get you. That's a fair criticism. We got Shrek versus Puss. Lewis says, I'm not sure if you'd do another scene from the same film, so I'm generally stuck. Well, you were all right. It is Puss versus Death. Leslie says, although I prefer Puss vs. Giant only because it reminds me of Shadow of the Colossus, I'm fairly certain the animators wasted a lot of their youth on that game and were working out the grievances in making that scene. But yes, okay, yes, I got a little distracted there, sorry. Yes, Puss versus Death. Like, as soon as you see this scene, it's hard not to put it at number one of the. It's hard not to believe that it's the best DreamWorks fight scene, because it is. Like, as soon as I did this, as soon as I knew this was the topic nominated, I just went straight to one. I was like, Puss vs. Death, right? Well, what's the others? Because it is so damn good. But it's mainly good because of the build-up. It's the build-up to the final battle. It's the confrontations we've had before with Puss and Death. Everything that's been happening before. That relationship, that chemistry that's been built up. But also seeing Puss grow and seeing him overcome his thanatophobia in that moment. So, like, without the building blocks, it's just a fun scene. It's just a fun scene. But, like, everything is coming together at this moment. The character development is coming full circle, and it's just... But yes, visually, it's absolutely jaw-dropping. Like, seeing Death just coming through these pink flames, and just as you hear the whistle, and, like, the cel-shaded animation of all the swinging of the weapons and everything is just like, oh, so damn good. And, like, the angles, everything is just perfect. But also, just the dialogue that's thrown in between. And how... what I really love is that in this fight, once Puss looks back on his life and realizes, yeah, this is my life, he reverses the roles. We've been so used to, like, Death being in command, in confidence, and Puss just being a complete wreck every time, but it's been reversed. And, like, I love that moment where Death drops his weapon and Puss is like, pick it up. Roles reversed. So Kabir Guy says, actually the whole Mexican standoff on the Star was freaking brilliant. That was a close contender as well. That was definitely a close contender. I mean, like, there's so many action scenes in Puss in Boots that could have just been in my number one. Zelda, the music so instant, and oh my god. Joshua, I saw this coming, we all did. Yes, yeah. When you see it, you get it. Listy, it's got action, emotion, callback, style, choreography, cinematography, all the good stuff. Zelda, I've shown this scene to my English teacher. It really impresses him. Doesn't surprise me. Soda, Death appears. Puss, why do I hear boss music? Cooper, not just great because of the fight choreography, but it's the moment when Puss decides to make his last life worth it. Yeah, it's such an emotional scene. It's not just cool. It's not just like, oh, awesome, scythe slashing against each other. So it's just a brilliant moment of showing Puss so confident with himself, and that's what reflects in the fight itself. Lovis and Puss in Boots' Last Wish is the film that didn't need to go as hard as it did, but it did. It did. And for those of you not seen Last Wish and you don't want to see this amazing scene, I'd say disappear for a minute, because I am gonna show Puss versus Death.
What is that?
Who's that?
He's here for me.
I've enjoyed the chase, Gato. But I think we've reached the end now, you and I. You gonna take the coward's way out? Run away to more lives? Or you gonna fight? Pick it up. Go on, pick it up! What's the matter? Lives flashing before your eyes?
No. Just one. I'm done running. Fear me if you dare.
This is gonna be fun.
So yeah, I accidentally played like the whole clip almost. I think I uploaded the wrong clip. I was meant to have a shorter clip, so yeah, sorry about that. Hopefully I won't get a DMCA strike. We got a lot of people talking. Zelda says the death stare is so scary. I saw that in movies. It haunts my mind. Good guy. Also, the fact that Puss, the main character, is freaking terrified of this guy. That's one thing that usually scared me as a kid. Listing. Oh, the heartbeat in the background. Zelda, my heart dropped when I found that the character can hear and see this creepy wolf. Yeah. Because up until that point where I think it always in his imagination, it's like, no, death is real. Here we go. When heroes themselves are scared of the enemy. Perito is such a great character. I was so ready to hate him at the beginning of the film. Yeah, it's kind of... It's almost like he's designed to be annoying, but he ends up becoming the unsung hero. Zelda, yes, my life is flashing before my eyes because I almost scared to death. So yeah, what do people want to say about the Puss versus Death battle? This is the way you can see in Puss's eyes when he opens them after thinking about his life. Yes. Yeah. It's almost like tears of joy. It's beautiful. Beautiful. Whole scene is beautiful. It really is. It's a gorgeously animated moment with like just so much emotion, so much intensity, and so much meaning and depth behind just this one fight scene. Yeah, love it. It definitely deserves my #1 spot. Who guys says almost like he got his wish somehow. Yeah, technically he did. Yeah, Zelda. I love that he can turn his sickles into a staff. So cool. Yes. Absolutely. I love the way he uses those throughout the film. But yeah, any other thoughts before we wrap things up and let you all say your favourite scenes? So if you have anything else you want to say about Puss vs. Death, now is your chance, now is your opportunity. Soda, I'm not going to lie, that was a cool entrance. It's probably his best entrance in the film, maybe. Love Cinema, Death's Whistle gives me the chills. Same. Honestly does. Watched the film twice now, and every time it's still like, ugh. As soon as you hear that whistle, it's like, oh no, he's near. Oh god, he's near. Oh, he's near. Oh. Here we go. Same feeling as when Darth Maul made another blade appear from his saber back in the days. It kind of is like that, isn't it? Never thought about that. But yeah. Gonna see if anyone wants to say anything else. I don't want to rush people. give you a chance to speak up. So I can't add anything to this clip. Said more than enough. Maybe that's the case. Maybe it's that simple. You don't really need to go into like intense detail. It is a very straightforward scene. the depth comes from everything that's happened before the scene and how it's led up to this. So what? Let's wrap it up. Let's wrap it up. Okay, so before I head off, I'd like you all to share what is your favorite DreamWorks fight scene and why. Why? I want to know why more than anything. Here we go. One of the whistles actually sounds quite nice and comforting. The last one, because that's what death is all about. It is scary, but you also see it as peaceful. Kinda, yeah. In a way, yeah. Community guy says, guess. Is it also Puss vs. Death? I feel like everyone's gonna say Puss vs. Death. It's because, like, how do you top that scene? How do you top that scene? How do you top any of the Puss vs. Death scenes? They're all on a tier that's above S. But that's the film in a nutshell. It hits a grade where it's like, wait, where do I put this? It should go higher than S. So Listy says, we need Moses to throw hands with Shrek. Only way to beat the scene. Love Cinema. The Furious 5 vs. Tai Lung bridge battle from Kung Fu Panda. It's such an exciting action scene that has me on the edge of my seat every time I watch it. Plus, it has that line, finally a worthy opponent. Yes, I like that, yeah. Our battle will be legendary. How can you not love this scene? Yeah, I do love that scene. Zelda, I love the final fight with Death, but it has to be the first fight because my thoughts were going through my head. Oh, so you're the wolf I heard about. What makes you so scary? Then when I saw him Puss bleed, I was like, oh shit, Puss run, it's mine and my little brother's scene. Cuba Dude, maybe not a fight in a traditional sense, but the castle escape scene from Shrek always gives me an adrenaline boost. I get it. It's the music and it's seeing them going down in a circle. I get it. Cuba, I mean, it's so up there with the others. Maybe the Jaguar versus Tula Miguel, where they both have to use their wits to defeat him, but even that doesn't come close. That almost went on. I also really just love the fight between Tula and Miguel. The fake fight. I really love that fake fight. Because, like, it really demonstrates their partnership. And also their how they've managed to get out of so many scare situations. It's like, that's what they do. And it also sets up for later. Leo says, I'd say Shen versus the Gongman Citadel Council. I still can't get over how amazing and fast the choreography was. How creatively made the body of Peacock into something deadly. I get you. And that's the thing, whenever I saw Shen fight in general, it was like, whoa. It's just so different to how everyone else is fighting around him. Everyone was like, and he's just like, it's just the grace to him. It's awesome. It's gonna be fun to write about him when I do my Dreamworks villains video. Soda, Shrek can handle an army of guards. Also, Shrek can't handle the same army of guards at the wedding. Here we go. You fight like my sister. I fought your sister. That's a compliment. Listy, I love Tai Lung's escape from prison. There is fighting in that. Technically is, yeah, I do love that scene as well. Everyone's reminding me of all these scenes that I should have put on this list instead of some of these choices. But yeah, I do love that escape scene. It's brilliant. It's a great way to introduce his character in general. Like, you've set up, this guy is so strong that he has to be, like, chained down and, like, have all those pins in his back. And has to have 1,000 guards around him. It's like, wow, this guy must be really tough. And then you see, oh, wait. Once he escaped, it's like, there was no point of 1,000 guards. Zelda, when Puss said, I know I'll never defeat you too, but I'll never stop fighting for this life, it got me to value my life. I think that's one of the best things about The Last Wish, is that you come out just loving life, loving your family, loving your loved ones, and just, like, appreciating everything. It is... I know for some people that haven't seen the film, it probably sounds hyperbolic, but, like, it is a life-changing film. You come out of that movie feeling like, holy shit. You do. You're like, holy shit. Not only was that an amazing movie, but, like, it made me really like approach life differently in general. Go watch Last Wish if you haven't seen it yet, folks. The hype, it merits. It merits. It's probably the one time where I would say, yeah, the hype lives up to it. So it says, oh yeah, Tai Lung's escape is awesome. I can't be the only one who got jump scared. I can't remember getting jump scared. But yeah. Anyone else want to share their favorite DreamWorks fight scene before I go? I've got to get back. I've got to A, get back to watching DreamWorks films, and B, get ready for my interview tomorrow. Computer Guy, life lessons from Puss in Boots 2 people. What even is this movie? It is, though. It is. It's crazy how it makes you reevaluate your own life. It makes you go like, oh, wow. Wait, no. You do kind of feel like Puss. Like, you've been in where Puss has been. Like, I feel like Puss's situation is probably the most human story in DreamWorks cinema. Computer Guy says DreamWorks have the best twos. Kinda. Kinda. Some of their twos are a little... I'll say this though, like, you know how I've been watching DreamWorks films by watching the sequels first for my other video, and now I'm watching all the other ones. It is interesting going backwards and kind of seeing them all as like prequel stories and like seeing how different the animation was, and makes me really appreciate how far DreamWorks have come as well. Listy, the studio that started off making jokes about number 2s ended up having some great number 2s. Zelda, I did have panic attacks like Puss, it's awful. Oh, bless you. Yeah, I've had a few, and the worst one I had was... Well, I had a few terrible ones, but one I had was when I was actually in home, and I ended up throwing up on my stairs. Yeah, that was awful. Yeah, I remember having a panic attack during sex ed class. That gave me a really bad reputation. Love cinema. I'm sorry, Jan, but I love Madagascar too. I get it may not be for everyone, including you, but it makes me laugh every time I watch it. It's my personal favorite of the franchise. Glad you enjoy it. Listy says I've had lots of panic attacks and need burrito. I think we all need a burrito. I want a therapy dog. Here you go. I never had a panic attack, but it looks freaking terrifying. It honestly... Okay, so how... I feel like some other people in chat will be able to explain them better. But... Jeez, how do you explain a panic attack? It's like... Damn it, it's really hard to put into words, because it's almost like you've got to be in the shoes of it happening. But like, I always faint during a panic attack as well. I always faint for every panic attack. Every single time. I think I very ever rarely kind of like kept my composure for a panic attack. So this says, it is not experienced, but witnessed it. Even when it's a bit different when you see someone going through it compared to actually feeling it. It's like, it is a bit like Last Wish, like your whole life flashes before your eyes. I remember having a panic attack while I was at a job that I really didn't like, and I'd just been scolded, and like the panic attack came from the fact that like I'm stuck working here. That freaked me the hell out. I was like, how do I stop working here? I hate it here. And that's what sent me. Leo, going on my panic attacks, your heart beats at 1,000,000 miles an hour. Yes, you can't breathe. That's one of the worst things. Your body goes limp and convulses beyond your control. You think you're about to die. Yeah, it does feel like you're about to die. It does feel like you're about to die, yeah. People explained it to me after this film. You lose the control of yourself. You feel like you're dying. You breathe heavily. Your heart's beating faster, which makes the whole situation even worse. Sometimes I've been, most of the time I've been lucky. I've been like with friends or workmates that have like helped me through, or they know what to do. They know what to say. But when you're on your own, it's the worst. It's the worst. You kind of need someone near you for a panic attack. I feel like. Zelda, it's like you lost yourself and living through your hard, terrible experience all over again. Yes, again, it feels like lots of your worst fears just erupt into one. Just, Listy. Also, different people feel it differently. I feel like I'm being crushed. Yeah, I would. Yeah, I think that's why I found it hard to explain, because I didn't want to speak on behalf of everyone. Because for me, it's very much kind of like the breathing thing is the most noticeable thing, and like I get how do I say it? It's almost like a buzz of adrenaline, where and like my vision becomes slightly impaired as well. It's like this. It's like a blurriness. It's a blurriness. It's almost like looking into the sun. That's what I feel. And then gradually I just faint. Closest I have come to that was when I woke up from a nightmare and was paralyzed in my bed. Couldn't move a muscle, couldn't breathe, couldn't blink. It was awful. Yes, that's sleep paralysis. And it happened twice. I know people also tend to see a scary figure in these situations, but I never did. I've had sleep paralysis since I was a kid, and I have it a lot. It's just become normal for my life. It honestly has. I have it so much. It's almost nearly a nightly thing, I would say. I remember having one the other night where I thought the sleep paralysis demon was coming through my window, because I had the window open because it's starting to get a bit warm in England right now. So my sleep paralysis was like, there is a demon coming through my window. There's a presence coming from my window, and I couldn't move, and I couldn't close the window. And as soon as I broke from the sleep paralysis, I was just immediately like, slam that window. Listy, I get tinnitus and tunnel vision. Leo, first time I had a panic attack, I didn't know what a panic attack was. I thought it was a full-blown heart attack. It does kind of feel like a heart attack almost, yeah. It was terrifying and painful. You gasp deeply for breath, but nothing goes in. I never knew what I was going through. I just knew that I was fainting very easily. And I never fainted before. Zelda, I've got my dog that will put a head on my knees now. I remember when I ran away from my domestic abusive partner, I lived with, I was living with, well, it was only for like, it's very temporary, but I stayed with, that's a better word of saying, I stayed with my dad, who was living with my brother's best friend at the time. Yeah, it's weird. And they had this big, cuddly dog, and like, they became my therapy dog at that time. Leo, same. I've gotten too used to my sleep paralysis demon, so to speak. I think for me, it's worse because I don't see anything. It's a presence. It's just something's there, and I don't even see what it is. I never actually see a figure. It's just the presence is there. And sometimes it's like the demon. Most of the time, it's a sound. It's a sound, and sometimes it's like a in my ear, like a, kind of in my ear, or like something talking, or sometimes just shouting. I've had a lot of sleep paralysis demons just shouting right in my ear. Oh bless you. I couldn't go back to sleep both times this happened. Lover of Cinema. I had a panic attack about a month ago. I won't go into detail about why I had one, but I did, and all I could think about was how I felt like Puss in that scene in The Last Wish. I wish I had a burrito with me to help me out in that situation. Well, I feel like humans are gonna be just as helpful. If you have a friend you can trust near you during a panic attack, it can be very relieving. Especially someone that knows what a panic attack is and what to do. Zelda, my dog gets worried when I do get a panic attack because I got abused and kidnapped by my own dads. Wow, I had no idea. I'm really sorry about that. Wow. The big guy says, oh, that presence feeling I did have both the time I had sleep paralysis. No wonder people created monsters out of these situations back in the olden days. They did, yeah, there's loads of paintings of like creatures sat on your chest. I never had sleep paralysis demons like that. I never had demons on my chest. They're always like behind me. They're always like behind me. Listy, people make me feel worse in those situations. I'd rather have an animal. No, I get it. I think it all depends on the person. Because, like, I've been lucky that for most of the time I've had a panic attack near someone, there's someone that understands autism and understands panic attacks, and like it's like they know what to do in that moment. It's very comforting for me. Here we go. But I never saw anything, just felt it. Yeah. I've had a lot of sleep paralysis dreams where how do I even explain it? Like a lot of sleep paralysis dreams where they would end with like a bang, like a massive bang. I think one of the, it's not even like sleep paralysis. Sometimes it could be a nightmare. I've had some nightmares where the one that really scared me the most was in this dream. Me, my brother, and my mum had driven out to a field, and we saw like a rocket missile of some kind, like coming down. And my mum said, "Oh no, we're gonna die," or something like that. And then the explosion, and end of dream. Dream finished. I've had a lot of apocalypse dreams, if I'm honest. Leo, in every case I had a panic attack, the person closest to me was the instant caused it, so they weren't exactly helpful. No, I get it. I've had some panic attacks caused by the people near me. It is all down to luck. Sometimes you can be very unlucky, and like the person near you is just going to be completely useless. But sometimes you'll be very lucky and be with a friend that's like knows exactly what to do. Yeah. So it says most of my dreams are more like animated movies. Wow. Oh, that's it. And both time it was lucid dream. The only 2 lucid dreams I've ever had where I obviously flew, then bam, lightning strikes and wake up paralyzed. Yeah, I've had a lot of dreams that just bang, wake up, James. I hate those. I hate those endings to dreams. I hate them so much. But speaking of lucid dreaming, I've had a lot of lucid dreams because I'm fascinated with it. I've always loved it, and I'm always experimenting with it. Like, I've trained myself to lucid dream so much now that it's kind of normal to know that I'm falling asleep. It's weird, but like I can watch myself falling asleep, and then I know I'm in the dream. It's bizarre. It's bizarre. It's hard to explain what it's like knowing you're falling asleep. It's hard to really put it into words. It's almost like when you're having an anesthetic. It's like someone's putting an anesthetic in you. That's what it feels like. So it says, like, no joke, I had this one dream of a movie that was so good, I wish it was an actual movie. I've had so many dreams like that. I've had so many dreams where I'm like, I want to turn this into a film. There are still dreams that I have in mind. I'm like, this could be a great movie. And sometimes I've actually had dreams of me making reviews, and I made them. The Spider-Man Venom video, that was a dream. I dreamed that someone else had made the video, and I woke up thinking, dang it, that'd be a really good tie-in to the new Spider-Man movie. I should make it. I know it was a tie-in to Venom, wasn't it? Yeah. So it says, someone dropped a big tray, it made a big bang, and that's what triggered my panic attack. Bless you. Here guy. And both times I picture myself in the fields near my grandparents' house. There used to be a hill with a tree there where me, my brother, and my cousin used to play during the summer. All this is gone now. Wow. At least even helpful people don't want near me when I'm panicking. Animals are better. No, I get... Everyone's going to have their own preferences. Unfortunately, I don't have any pets. I don't have any pets. It's very rare for me to be near any animals. I'm usually near humans. So, most of the time when I have a panic attack, I hope I'm near someone that understands panic attacks. No, I get it. Right. Wow. We talked about panic attacks and dreams for about 20 minutes. So my teacher was there looking at me worried, so they got me some water and a chocolate bar. Bless. Very nice teacher. Yeah, I don't have any pets. None at all. Because I live in a place where I don't feel like it's the right place for a pet, if you know what I mean. But when I move out, I definitely really want to adopt some kind of pet. Probably a bulldog. I think I'm getting a bulldog. It's why when I move, I'm hopefully going to move to someone that's like, yeah, you can have pets. Here we go. Thanks to Puss in Boots 2. Just to remind you, that movie's unreal. Yeah, that's the thing, is that you come out of that film and you have so much to talk about afterwards. Because it explores so much and goes into so much depth about certain things. But yeah, I need to head off now. I need to go and watch some Dreamworks films and get ready for tomorrow's interview. Hope you enjoyed my countdown. Hope you enjoyed the discussion about, I guess, mental health. Hope you're happy. Hope you're smiling. Hope you're well. Know that you're awesome. Know that you're loved. Hope have a happy day, night, evening, whatever time it is for you. And